Hello fellow Africans, welcome to the new Africa as pursued by the People's Movement for African Unity. I'm not standing here talking about African unity because I am the richest of all Africans, nor am I the most intellectually gifted. Because the life and future of this great continent is not something money can buy, nor is it dependent on human intellectual acuity. But because I had for many years been prepared by divine masters to initiate the process of building a new Africa. I am not making this video message as a movie actor, nor am I here to make spectacular gestures that satisfies visual audience. I am making it to inform the public about divine revelations concerning the future of Africa. Please listen attentively to this voice, because it is the voice of truth. The title of this message is Interim Period under the Caretaker Government of Africa. Much had been speculated about the future of this continent and its people, but the greatest truth about the continent lies with the Supreme God, who had been and is always in control of the spiritual world from which anything physical comes forth. Before I proceed, let me first let you know that the spiritual world had been in contact with me for many years regarding the future of Africa and to reveal some secrets concerning Africa's past and future. This has been going on for many years. It has taken nearly 26 years since I left my home country. I was made to wander across African countries so as to educate me about the continent and give me revelations. And when this responsibility of initiating a new Africa was first unveiled to me, I decided to commit suicide in order to escape from this mission because I was confused. I did not know how it would be about. I had made few attempts to commit suicide in order to escape from this huge mission, but all to no avail because the power of God is behind it. This will be published in a book when the time is right. But now everything is fine. I am fine. I am ready to take the initiatives of building the new Africa according to divine revelations. I'm very okay with it. I'm happy finally because the mission has circulated in my mind and in my blood. So I'm happy today to begin the process of initiating New Africa, which will start from January 2020 in Johannesburg. Great plans have been put in place for the future of the world, and those plans dictate that Africa will one day unite and become powerful and play a vital role in restoring justice and peace to the human race. Empires had come and gone. Nations has risen and fallen. The manipulators of human destiny has taken their time to experiment with human evolution in diverse ways and for reasons best known to them. They had allowed injustice and oppression to prevail among the nations of the world. Many generations of mankind has passed with this injustice, but in this generation, a divine decree to restore justice, peace and harmony in the world has been issued, and that decree dictates the rise of Africa into prominence. And by this, we can understand that Africa is destined for restoration after many centuries of slumber, and that moment of restoration has started after the Second World War. Now pay attention to this great secret hidden away from the knowledge of men. There is a 70-year period marked out by divine masters as an interim period when which Africa recuperates from their battle to end colonial rule and to prepare for the greater future to start, and that future is now. This 70-year period started in 1957 and will end in 2027. From there onwards, this secret has been revealed to me, and it is my pleasure to make it public so that we all can understand where Africa is coming from and where we are going from now. We know that the independence of African states were ignited by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when he achieved the independence of Ghana in 1957. The year 1957 marked the beginning of the liberation of Africa, ushering into the interim period, and all government of African nations since after independence are functioning within this interim period, and they are known in the spiritual world as caretaker government, working within this interim time. Being on a caretaker basis, the government of African nations do not operate with full power. This is the reason many governmental initiatives in Africa are not working as expected, and this is the reason we have so much confusion and misery in Africa. Also, other nations of the world have taken advantage of this weakness to exploit Africa at the detriment of our people. The time has come for change. Ever since this knowledge was revealed to me about this interim period, I have been seeing life differently from before, and I have refrained myself from the popular notion of blaming African leaders as being responsible for the evils of the continent. Of course, we know that some African leaders are not good enough to be elected leaders of men, but even those who were willing to lay their life for the good of Africa were not successful either. To cut matters short, the interim period is fast expiring, and all governments of Africa will disappear by the year 2027 from there onwards. We all know that there is no vacuum within the scope of natural laws. As one system is going down, so the replacement is prepared. The entire African national government will be replaced by the federal government of Africa as the hegemony. This is the reason we are tasked with the responsibility of establishing the federal government of Africa by or before the year 2025, so that it will gradually absorb the rest of African nations and take the nation and take the continent to greater heights into becoming a superpower in the world. That is the promise of God, and it is coming to stay. The ending of African government must not frighten you in any way. We will endeavor to have a smooth transition between the national government and the federal government of Africa. And may I use this opportunity to let you know that there is a special alliance decreed by divine masters between Africa and the state of Israel. It will be a very powerful alliance, an alliance of no interruption that will stay till time indefinite. We will be talking about those things when the time is correct. Fellow Africans, brothers and sisters from creation, we have bemoaned about our predicament for many years and centuries. Many of us have died in poverty and misery. Some were killed in the hands of foreign forces in their attempt to save Africa from its troubles, while others were humiliated in several ways than one. But may I use this opportunity to tell you that the days of complaining about Africa's problem is over. Can I repeat? The days of complaining about Africa's problem is over. It's time to rise to the great position in the world, and it is time to restore the black race as honorable citizens of the world. All those evils has been happening for us for many centuries, but we should take hope in the fact that according to natural laws, every problem is growing with the solution, and it's a matter of time before the solution takes over and usher in a new era of greater beginning. African unity is the solution of our time, and it is now time to realize it. It is long overdue. Let us support and build it with loyalty and enthusiasm. And may I draw your attention once again that the People's Movement for African Unity shall assume its mandate of building a new Africa from January 2020, starting from Johannesburg, South Africa. And we are not subject to the control of any government of Africa. We have received the authorization to make use of anything we may need to excel in our mission, and we are not expecting any interruption, but rather a moral and material support from all quarters of African society. Please stay in touch with our YouTube account and other social media pages to view more of our messages. It will help you to understand our movement better. Rise up, Africa, with confidence and power. We are here to stay. I greet you all.